Good evening and welcome to a rather warm Macclesfield Town Council Services Committee. Date is the 30th of June 2025 and we're here to discuss the agenda that's been produced. So we'll go straight into the agenda. First item is apologies for absence.
Councillor Fiona Wilson.
Thank you. Item 2, are there any declarations of interest from councillors at all? No, thank you very much. There are no members of the public, so we'll move straight on to item 3. The minutes of the Services Committee meeting that was last held on the 27th of January, which was only a few months ago, but just to approve those minutes. So we can have a proposer for those.
Not to propose.
Proposed by Councillor Barber and Councillor Bodwick seconding. All those in favour of those minutes be approved? Okay, unanimously carried, thank you. Are there any matters arising for those minutes at all? No, okay. So item 5 is community. 5.1 is a community engagement update.
So as the Assistant Town Clerk isn't here, I'll cover this. The main activity for the Town Council has been that we had a volunteer thank you event during Volunteers Week, and obviously all councillors are volunteers as well, so thank you to all the councillors as well. Our work experience, we had 2 lads from Ballybroom who organised the event, and it was really enjoyable, and I think all the volunteers appreciated it, so that was excellent. Still engaging with the Food Network. Helena goes there all the time, still trying to get people to work closely together, which I think is happening more. And then obviously working with CVS on the grants. Helena gets lots of people asking for grants or asking if they should apply for grants, and it's being able to help them be able to put in an application if appropriate, and be able to put all the right things in first time rather than it going backwards and forwards. So yes, all healthy engagement.
Thank you very much for that, Town Clerk. Just to put another thanks from ourselves for the volunteers. They do a fantastic job helping out at the many events that we have at the Town Council. So thank you to them from us. Any other comments or questions? No? Talking about CVS, 5.2 is a report from CVS CE.
So this is their annual report, which very informative, shows you everything that they do for the Macclesfield community. Obviously CVS covered Cheshire East completely, but this is really based on Macclesfield and how they're helping people find funding from other sources, helping with applications, things like that. Our relationship with CVS is really positive, really, good collaboration. So yeah, all positive.
Brilliant. And again, it was fantastic the work that they do. So not just for the community groups coming to us for grants, but for other community groups within the local area. Any other comments or questions? No. Item 6, local service delivery. With a lengthy report, I'll hand over to the events officer.
Yeah, I'll try to crack through it because it is going back quite far. So I don't know if anyone remembers, in January we had a giant helter-skelter outside. That was for our Northern Light event. Essentially, we've done a lantern parade the last couple of years, but due to where Lunar New Year fell this year, we didn't have the time or the capacity to do 2 parades that close to each other. We didn't have time, Art Space didn't have time. It's a lot of organisations to do a parade, so instead we had this placeholder event which was Northern Light, which was designed to get people out in the evenings and in those sort of dark winter afternoons, to get out and just bring them together with their community, enjoy themselves, have something, again, as always, fun and free to do. So we had the Helter Skelter, we had marshmallow toasting, we had the light up lobster, we were giving away these light up yo-yos that I can't do. And we had all sorts of things. Cheshire Folk, and we always joke that whenever they come to Macclesfield, they have to bring double of everything because these events are so well attended, and they bought 1,000 marshmallows and they were gone within a couple of hours. So next time, 2,000 marshmallows. But yes, that was very it was much better attended than I expected, considering how cold it was. It was bitter. It was about 2 degrees outside, but people turned up and seemed to have a lovely time. So that was really nice. On fire juggling as well. And then a couple of weeks later, we had Lunar New Year, which again was a lovely. It's such a well-attended event. It's really popular, and it's always a really positive day. So as usual, we started up here. We had Conundrum doing the drumming this year, and then the parade went down the hill, and once again we split the site between the URC, the United Reformed Church, and the Silk Museum, and that seems to work really well. Because these events are so well attended, it splits that crowd a little bit, so it's a bit safer in both venues, and it allows us to put on more activities. So from the Confucius Institute at Manchester University, we had teachers doing Chinese calligraphy and traditional paper cutting, and we also had Tai Chi, and we had some games in the cafe like Go and Mahjong, so there's a few different activities this year. And again, just as always, busy, really busy and well attended. And then we had Easter. I honestly can't remember that much about it, but I think it was a lovely day. It stayed very dry. We had, the Bubble Man was back. That's always really popular. And we had the circus, Let's Circus were back again as well. And again, that's always a big hit. And then we also had the Town Council's 10th birthday party, which Abby took the lead on. So I don't know if you want to talk about it.
I can do, yeah. So yeah, in May we celebrated a decade of Town Council, which doesn't seem like a very long period of time, but by the time we filled the assembly room with display boards detailing how the Town Council came about, all the things that we've achieved over the last 10 years, it was a lot to show for ourselves. And we also invited some of the organisations that we support funding. They came along, we were able to talk to people. We had some of our favourites like Art Space running a crafting session. We were able to colour in Rachel with a big owl. We had some specially designed colouring sheets. There was also a huge birthday cake that the mayor had jumped out of. Mark Jackson did a comic workshop for us, made in Mac, that was a small links market, and then we had Bus for Me, Love Jim, and a disco as well. We also gave out birthday cake to people, and I just thought I'd mention this because it was a really lovely email, and it just sort of, it's quite nice to be thanked every now and again, but thanks for everything that all of us do. So this was from Dolly Daydream, who provided the brownies. I can't thank you enough for your ongoing support. Honestly, you and Mac Town Council as a whole are doing such a terrific job, particularly with your involvement with local businesses. It's been a really difficult month. The town is so quiet, so orders like this really do make such a difference. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And I just think that's a really nice, positive thing to take from what we do.
Thank you.
Just a couple of other notes. The manager of Grace in the shopping centre requested a list from us of all the dates that we have events in town, because they are so busy on those days that they need to put extra staff on. So they now have a list of everything that's coming up, so they will be ready to go. And then looking ahead, Do Something Summer is all books up and ready to go. There's a pile of leaflets over there if anyone wants to take them for their communities. These are going out to the schools on Friday, and we've got a really fun mix of different activities this year. Some popular favourites are coming back, so the climbing wall is coming back, kite making is coming back, we've got more circus skills, we've got some new things, we've got some more STEM-based things and some Lego-based things, so it's going to be a really fun, busy summer. And we've also got 1261 coming up as well on the 23rd of August, and again, we've almost got that locked off for activities. I think it's going to be really fun and busy, due in no small part to our new community funding stream. Decision.
So, couple of things. So, first of all, as well as all the events that Rachel has done and Abby has done, we have supported quite a lot of events, which I think is really key for this council to be encouraging local people to put on their own events and supporting them with some funding or some help or some guidance. So we had quite a run of events. So we had Mac in May, a huge music event outside, which we managed then. So there was all bands outside, bars, the weather was great, it was full, and it was a really fun, good event. The next day we had the football club in, and we were able to combine that with the stage that was already out there with Mac in May. So we had the football club go out, obviously with all their success, and over, I think it was a couple of thousand people came out to see that. The week after we had VE Day, which was ably, completely organised by Peter Lake of the RBL, which was a lovely event, and Art Space got involved with that. The same day we had the birthday party, we also had the bike-a-thon organised by Just Drop In and Darren Allgood, which it was great to combine the outside and the inside. Sort of, I believe people were dragging people from outside inside, but all to the good. Then we had the street party on Chestergate, which we helped fund. Again, another really good event. All the local businesses came together. I know Louise from Lidl Loves took the lead, but that was really, really good to be involved with that, even if it was just funding and guidance. And then obviously we had Matt Powell this weekend, which seemed to go really, really well, took over the town. I think Mark did. Nobody does a better job of letting everyone know what's going on than Mark. So I think there's something really to be proud of there with the events we do and the events we support as well, which gives it a Macclesfield quite unique. These are not off the shelf bought-in company events. These are events that the people of Macclesfield are delivering themselves, which is exciting and really positive. So for 1261, as Rachel alluded to, this year we put out, we wanted to get as many shops, businesses, groups, organisations involved, so we put out a small grant, £250, to do something that could then be included in the 1261 programme. And we won't give away what we've got, but we've got lots of very exciting little bits and things, and quite, again, very unique to Macclesfield. Lots of independent businesses saying, I'll put this on, I'll put that on. So we're looking, we've spent 3,000.
Yeah.
We could spend more, so we're looking to up it to maybe 5,000 and see if there's any little sort of gaps we think that, you know, that would be good to have that kind of thing there and pick on those uniqueness of Macclesfield. An example is somebody's going to be doing, I believe they're going to be doing pizza making in a local pizza shop. That will all be free, people can go in, cook that kind of thing. We've got poetry, we've got pottery, we've got lots of talks, music, lots of DJs. Apparently there's a really great DJ scene in Macclesfield. So loads of like really interesting things so that people can sort of come in, and it will help those businesses as well that day, not just be come to the town hall and maybe go for lunch. It'll push people into those shops to find out what's going on. So we're looking to up it a bit to 5,000 from 3,000. It'll come from Rachel's budget or community delivery.
Thank you very much for a very in-depth update of the events that have gone on. As the businesses have said, it's a fantastic thing that we're doing in the town centre, not just for the community of Macclesfield, but for the businesses as well, helping those. So again, Rachel, massive thank you, and Abby as well for the birthday party. We do have a vote to consider the proposal for the 1261 funding, as the town clerk has just mentioned, which is to increase the budget from 3,000 to 5,000. I was just about to say, before we do that, any comments or questions about the events report so far?
I think the observation is the number of events and the quality of events, not the number, it's the quality. I think great credit to town council staff for all that. The level of imagination is quite something. I think it makes town unique, and if you're going to get people into Macclesfield, that's fundamentally essential to it, and the fact that it generates footfall for local business makes it even more well noticed, and local groups encourages people to do things. So I think that reflects two other things. One, help skeleton and great fun. The second, you shouldn't be surprised when the ending has jumped out. Story of my married life. Probably the best way to put it. But yes, Chair, I would be happy to propose the increase in funding to £5,000. If that's helpful.
Are you wanting to comment?
Second it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Forget Glastonbury, just come to Macclesfield. And just a note about Greg's, I think, you know, thank you to our wonderful town hall team, but I think Greg's should be offering you a staff discount or at least sponsoring some of the events. But it's great, and you look at the footfall figures and the you know, the use of the free bus and so on. We are a shining example to other councils in Cheshire, so thank you very much.
Thank you. So we have had a proposal by Councillor Livingston, seconded by Councillor Bennett. Right. All those in favour of the increase? That's unanimously carried. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing what goes on additionally into 1261 Festival.
Can I just, sorry, I just remembered one more that was agreed after the report is it's going to be VJ Day in August. So we've agreed to support local artists Trevor Druce and Julie Hammer to deliver a VJ Day exhibition. That'll be
St Michael's Church.
in St Michael's,
yes.
exactly. Trevor will be, it's themed around the Hiroshima disaster, and he'll be painting, he'll be working on his art in the Grover Centre for people to see, and then it'll be on display in St Michael's from the 15th of August.
I also believe that St Michael's may be doing something as well to help with that as well. So another community organisation pulling together to do a bit more. Thank you. 6.2 is the floor displays.
They're looking fabulous, I think. We've got Britain in Bloom next week or the week after. Week after. So everything's prepped, getting ready to go. Just be a huge town clean up beforehand. Cheshire East, aka Old Anza, are doing them. I don't know what to call them because I think Anza just describes what they do. I say Cheshire East, like who, but they're doing a great job, and they are currently, the town council is funding the maintenance of the new plants in the new planters, but because they're sustainable, they need a lot less looking after and a lot less watering, although in this heat might be a little bit more. So that's all been agreed, they're all being looked after, and yeah, looking really good. We put some more hanging baskets up after the town centre consultation, because the guys who were down at the lower end of Chestergate near Pitcherdrome were feeling a little bit unloved with the flowers, so we've got some up there, and the rangers have, there's some flowers down at Wally Hayes. They've been repainted everything and made it look nice, so they've got, we're trying to extend that public realm out a little bit, those little bits and pieces.
Thank you. I just have a question. I don't know what to call them. The installation at Sainsbury's roundabouts. How's that come about?
On the roundabout.
On the railings, there's some hearts and
Yeah.
the green.
Ivy on
Yeah.
they were part of the Mac on Foot project. So they were put up by Cheshire East Stroke Anza for part of the Mac on Foot project, and as far as I understand, we maintain them.
All I'd say is it just adds a little bit more, makes it, instead of looking at plain railings as something.
They
So-
just need painted, yeah.
Any comments or questions? No, thank you for that. 6.3 is the festoons, again to receive and note the updated report.
Yes, so the new, so festoon lights that were part of the Shared Prosperity Fund as part of the report were installed in April. The lights on Chestergate are light sensitive, so will only come on when it is dark. So if you're sort of out early evening and it doesn't look like the lights because it's not dark enough. There was a fault identified outside of the Pitcherdrome, so we were getting a lot of people reporting that they were out and then they'd be back on again, as if by magic, and then they'd be out again. That fault has now been fixed, fingers crossed. There may be some more work that needs to be done on that, but that should be sorted.
Great, thank you. And again, any comments or questions? No. 6.4 is Christmas lights to receive and note the updated report. I believe that when the
Yes.
Services Committee was meant to meet in March, there was a decisions, and
Yes,
that was
it
all
got
done
moved to full
at full
council.
council, yes.
But I do have some updates, verbal updates on the Christmas lights. So as part of the Mac on Foot project, they put up 7 lanterns on Mill Street. They're
Sure.
quite high.
Cheshire's council.
Yes. So you may not have noticed. I did notice them until somebody pointed them out to me. So when they were putting those up, the highways found lots of issues. And the long and the short of it was, we were kind of told, in a roundabout way, Christmas lights won't be happening on Mill Street. So obviously we went into panic mode. So eventually we got a meeting with 2 of the staff, Danny and Clint from Highways, who I have to say were brilliant. They came along and they met with our contractor. We walked around everywhere. We took pictures of everything. And we think we have a plan for this year. It does rely on some remedial work done by Highways, but it's work they have to do anyway to get the new lanterns, because they're not working. So it's work they have to do anyway. So we're fingers crossed that will be done. There could be changes next year, and hopefully we've got the message across that if you change something, talk to us, because it's easier to change if you're changing it to add another bit on, another wire for the Christmas lights and a box. I know nothing about electricity, but I can sort of get the gist of it. Then do it retrospectively and open everything up afterwards. So after much debate and much discussion, we believe we'll get the Christmas lights up, or most of them up, and we're going to put them up earlier in case there is any issues, which means they'll probably go up October-ish. That doesn't mean they'll be on, it just means they'll start to go up, so that if there is any issues, we've got the time to sort them out, because we can't not have Christmas lights. So fingers crossed. And I know if I need any help, that you'll help me push Highways along to make those. But I have to stress that when we got the right people who do the job, they were superb and helpful.
Fantastic.
So fingers crossed, after a week and a half of worry, it may be sorted.
Well, obviously being on the panel that's choosing the lights this year are going to look fantastic.
Yeah.
I know that. Obviously Councillor Barber was on the panel as well, so
We need them up.
yes. And hopefully the residents will see what a fantastic choice we've made. Any comments or questions regarding Christmas lights?
We'll definitely not cancel at Christmas.
No. No. Definitely not.
I was thinking, where else can we put them? But hopefully they'll be up.
Okay, so moving on to item 7, we've got 7.1 is the parks and play areas.
There's no real updates apart from obviously the big tower showstopper was picked. It was a very decisive victory for number B. The second option, which was the one that's as big as 2 double-decker buses. So planning permission's going in, and that should all be done for January for the new year. Then we have Tidmington is being sorted with the 2 play areas there, and the money left over for Central, and ANZA, Edoxall is currently looking at different options that they think need done in Central, which we'll put to the Central councillors and then come back to a further meeting when plans are in place and decisions to be made.
So just in relation to the parks budget for this year, what percentage or how much is?
So there's 75,000 left, and it would be Central's turn. So I've asked ANZA to look at what they thought needed to be done in Central, and then put that to the Central councillors, see what they think, and go from there.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
No.
Thank you. 7.2 is South Park Pavilion.
Probably not much more to tell.
No, we're waiting on a couple of things, price and putting together a report for full council 28th of July.
Obviously, we did have the report at the last full council meeting,
Yes.
that's why there's not much.
Yes.
It's not as if nothing's going on, it's the fact that there's been no
Yes.
update
Key
since.
things we're waiting for to happen.
They haven't changed.
Yeah.
Still haven't got a lease, still haven't got a licence. Still sorting out charity. But
Yeah.
those are things out without our control. And until we do, we can't start. And
So,
dangerous our contract, our tender prices going to expire.
Yes.
hopefully, fingers crossed, by full council next month, there might be a bit more of an
Hopefully.
update, hopefully. Okay. I know there's not much to report there, but any questions or comments about the South Park Pavilion? No. Okay. 7.3, playing out.
Yeah, it's going to go ahead as usual this year again, outside Create. It's a lovely day, it's a lovely activity, it's really well attended. So it is going to go ahead as planned on the 8th of August. The only slight change this year is with the introduction of Martin's Law, Cheshire East Events have asked us to make some slight adjustments in how we operate the road closure. So they've recommended basically getting a traffic management company in to properly close off the road with barriers and vehicles if needed. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's not like it's quite a busy road in that delivery drivers like to nip through. So safety first. So we're going to be getting a traffic management company in to cover that. But that means it'll go ahead as usual.
Brilliant. Obviously, children's safety, well, everyone's safety is priority, so understandable that looking to spend the money wisely to keep everyone as safe as we can do. Thank you. Any questions? No. Thank you. 7.4, allotments.
Just, I've been told that Helena is doing inspections every month. There's some spaces she's letting things out. It's all going okay? Yeah? No issues?
Brilliant.
For
Apart,
once.
apart from the weather at the moment.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been a bit. Any comments or questions? No. Okay. 7.5 is street sports.
Yes, so the assistant town clerk came up with a feedback form that we sent to Macclesfield Football Club Community who run the street sports sessions for us, and we received 10 responses to that questionnaire. All of the children who responded were from within the town council boundary area, so that's great for a start. The main reason they attend is to play sports that they like, and the second reason was to make new friends. They've all been really enjoying it, and one of the sort of comments that we got back was that over the winter, the Thursday session, which used to be at South Park, become a predominantly football session, and they asked us if we could keep that as a football session, the Thursday night one. So rather than being in South Park on the courts, that session for its summer slot has stayed at the Lifestyle Gym, and it is staying as a football session. So we've done what the children have asked, and keeping that one as football. The other three sections that run across the week at West Park, Jasmine Park and Banbury Park are all multi-sports sessions. So there is still an opportunity for children to go to those, but for those children who specifically want to kick the ball around, it's the Thursday section that they need to go to. And yeah, that was it really.
Thank you. It's fantastic to be able to see the responses from young people as to why they go to street sports. I think it's something that I've been kind of asking for a while, not just to or just have the confirmation as to why we're doing it. You know, there are events that we put on for the older generation, and it's fantastic that we're seeing the benefits for the children as well. So yeah, it's fantastic to see that. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay. 7.6, Park Fit.
Yes, so we'll start on a positive note. Parkfit moved back into South Park after Easter, and the first one back, we had 30 people people, followed by 25 people, and 28 people. And on the 15th of May, we saw a record-breaking 42 people turn up for Parkfit. And it just continues to be a really positive session, many regular users, but also a continual sort of influx of new people. And some of these new people turn up for one session, some of them can only come every other week, some can only come when childcare allowed, but it's nice to be able to see those sort of same faces. We've had some really good comments on sort of social media. My body is shouting at me this morning, nevertheless, a great, somewhat tiring workout. And now on to the sad bit. So, unfortunately, Matt Rigby, who has been doing Parkfit sessions for us since 2019, has informed the Assistant Town Clerk that from that 17th of July will be his last session taking Parkfit. Now, I know that Sandy's got my mum to cry this morning over there.
He's unable to walk and through.
It's purely down to family commitments, which we completely support Matt in. It's not that he wants to finish doing it, just family comes first. Parkfit is sort of one of our original core elements of the Move More Macclesfield programme, and we're using this time to reevaluate it. We're going to consult with Parkfit users, so we've got a survey that's going to go out tomorrow. It will go out online on the website, and we'll also be taking some paper copies with us to the next Parkfit session. And we're going to try and find somebody suitable to step into Matt's shoes. It might be the same format, it might be something a little bit different, and that's why we're going to go out there and gather some feedback, just to make sure that what we continue to deliver is what people actually want. It might mean that we put a pause on it for the winter, which traditional is a bit of a tricky situation anyway, trying to find an indoor venue that is available every single week without having to swap rooms because of exams, and something that is big enough. We were struggling a little bit when we were at Park Royal to fit into that room. So it's a good time then to sort of give it all a bit of a think and see what we can come up with. But just like to say a huge thank you to Matt for all the hard work he's put in. And to go out on a 42-person high, I think is a sign that he's done well.
Brilliant. Again, I think the whole committee will say or agree with me that Matt has done a fantastic job since 2019, week in, week out, even during the winter, to be able to help the residents of Macclesfield achieve 45-minute workout Thursday evenings. Pass our thanks on as well to Matt. I think it's right to have a pause and see what the Parkfit users or members feel about going forwards and see where we go from there. I think the last session with Matt is the 17th.
17th, so there's no Parkfit this week because Matt's just competed in World Toughest Mother, so he's having a little bit of a break. There will be a session next week, and then the 17th will be the last one.
I think that will break all records.
I hope so. It would be really nice.
There could be thousands of people in there. Exactly.
As long as it breaks the record, not me.
Come on, Councillor Livingston, you love it really.
I think that's a challenge to break something.
It's not that difficult.
Any other comments or questions? No. Okay. 7.7 is fitness for the future.
Yep, so that was agreed to fund for another year at full council, so it continues.
No other updated figures from that's fine.
No.
Any comments or questions? Let's jump into it now. Brilliant, okay. Agenda item 8 is street scene, starting with 8.1 public realm.
So I might combine this with the flower display because they're all kind of linked together, the next one. But basically, Macon Fort, the Cheshire East UKFPF funded project is complete. We await a formal agreement for how we maintain this, i.e. the benches. I'm assuming the lanterns that don't yet work, festoons, things like that. So I'm waiting a formal agreement, and if it needs that we have to check it over with our health and safety lighting people before we take it over, then I'll make sure that's done. For us in the public realm, what we're going to be focusing on is another mural, where hopefully Helena is looking potentially at the one outside O2 on Castle Street, so we can get, they're quite keen, if we can get permission for that. I think that would be a great location for a mural. And again, just picking up bits where we can in the town centre to make it more appealing where we can. At the moment we're looking at Lower Mill Street and really what we can do there, and how we can work with those businesses down there to brighten it up a bit, really. So yeah, all continues. Any ideas are welcome.
I think that's a task for the councillors if to come up with anything. Thank you for the reports. Any questions or comments? No? Undecided there, councillor. 8.2 Town Ranger.
So the Rangers team, as always, do a cracking job getting ready for Britain in Bloom, but also just all the extra little bits and pieces they do, responding to jobs, grot spots, they're just fixing fences and allotments, that kind of thing. Really, really great. No job can, they're good at everything. So yeah, they continue doing that, and we were really pleased that we had all of them at the 10th birthday. They were a hit, and they were telling people with such care when they were giving out the wildflowers, because we get a lot of people saying, what's your wildflower mix? And it's very special secret mix. So they were giving it out, and they were really, you know, explaining how to get the best out of it. It wasn't just here you go, it was you want to do this, you want to do that, and that's the way to, you know, to get them to grow. Because a lot of people try and grow wildflowers and they can't. So they were great to be there, and yeah, just great people to work with, very positive attitude, and have, you know, massive impact on the town, keeping it tidy, etc.
Yeah, and again, we speak for the whole committee, but our thanks to the Town Rangers for all the hard work they do. Going through town, you see the displays that are up, and must take a dedicated team to keep the flowers in tip-top condition, plus also the day-to-day jobs as well. Any comments or questions? No? Okay. Item 8.3, the 165 gallery.
Yeah, there's a lovely exhibition in there at the minute. Lucy Fitzpatrick continues to do a fabulous job of curating that gallery space, and they've just had some new, we just organised to have some new header signs in the phone boxes, so above the exhibition space, it's what we used to say telephone?
Yes, it says telephone.
We used to say telephone, you might not notice them, but now they've been replaced and they say 165 Gallery and Macclesfield Calling, and they look really smart, they look really nice, and it just sort of legitimises the whole gallery space. It's lovely.
I also believe that it was the Rangers that were installing them, is that correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Another
Just
street.
looking for lighting now, so that it could look really good in night with displays in as well. I think 5 years ago they were, I won't say what they were, but they didn't smell nice.
They were unloved.
Yeah.
So, but again, what you can do with a couple of
Exactly.
disused phone boxes and they're looking fantastic. Councillor Livingston.
Just the way the local artists have taken it up. Just every time you look at it, it's something different. It's quite spectral.
Any other comments? No. 8.4 is Museum on the Street.
So this was our project that was funded by UK SBF fund. So the admin-y kind of financial bit is all complete with Cheshire East. They have everything they need. So we have all the money, which is great. You have to do it and then get it back after. So that bit's good. The only bit we've not got is them installed. However, when I met Danny and Clint for the Christmas lights, it also turned out that they were the right people to speak to about installing notice boards.
Fantastic.
So I was able to take them exactly where we wanted. So I have the right people, and I am more than hopeful this time that it should happen fairly soon. The only thing is we're waiting for, I don't know if you've seen outside Smith's, there's
Yeah.
a fallen box with railings round, and then it kind of grew. There was another, but we decided that was railings round a railing, and we think it was the contractor that Highways put in, so those railings are going to go. I mean, they don't want their railings back, but it's just a pile of railings with railings round it. So that can go, and we're looking, we might have found somebody to, the electric box, the electricity's been switched off, but it's got hydraulics in it, and Highways don't have the expertise to take that out. So we need to find somebody that could, and our Christmas light contractor, it was like serendipity. They could do it, so they're giving us a quote, and then we'll see if Highways will work with them to do it. So hopefully that will be gone, and the notice boards will be up before the end of summer. Fingers crossed.
Brilliant. I think the Museum on the Streets project has been ongoing for what it seems to be a long time without
For 10 years, it feels like.
without any anything to show for
Yeah.
it. Not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
hopefully, fingers crossed, we should start
There's 2
seeing.
notice boards in the back if you want to look at them.
No, I think we should wait until
Yeah.
they all go up.
And a really exciting marketing campaign to go with it, and the first so many people will get a very, very special prize for doing it, colouring pages to go with it. It'll be really, really good, so hopefully people enjoying it. It'll be the first part, and we can hopefully add to it and add bits out of town in our parks and different areas, so fingers crossed we've met the right people.
Brilliant, thank you. Any comments? No. So item 9 is town centre regeneration, starting with 9.1 town centre free Wi-Fi data.
Yes, I'd like to make an apology. I just noticed that the last 2 figures for connections and users say April 2025 versus April 2025. So it should be April 2025 versus April 2024 on the 6th of May. Once you've slightly amended that on your piece of paper, you will see that the Wi-Fi connection figures actually continue to decline. You know, we're still promoting it, we're still paying for it, it is there, people can use it, and a lot of people do still use it. You know, we're getting 14,000 connections a month, so it's not an inconsequential amount of people, but I think, as we discussed before, you know, people are getting more and more free data included in their packages, so they're using that, but obviously it is still being used by people, and it is still there, and it can be accessed from most of town.
Thank you very much. Any comments? 9.2 town centre signage.
Yes, note that before, and still, the town clerk said she was going to take my money off me the other day, because nothing had happened.
£20,000 in the budget
With
for,
my lovely signage proposal, but it's not my fault. So,
Just as a question,
yeah,
the people from Cheshire Highways,
yes,
are they able to?
they may be.
oh yes, Clinton
Yeah. They may be, so I will
We need to
definitely
ask them.
follow it up with them.
Chase them up, and
Yeah,
if they can.
yes,
then,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comments? No, there's nothing to, nothing going on there. 9.3 town centre regeneration working group.
So, obviously Councillor Wilson is chair of this. Quick recap, we had the consultation, we've got the consultation online, which is still going, so it's still out there. We're looking specifically for young people to put their views in, so we've been pushing that out in areas we hope to reach young people. Interestingly, the face-to-face comments were a lot more positive and charming than the online comments. A lot of them, however.
I think people are more braver online.
But they are, I don't think there's anything that would be coming out that wouldn't be something that we would be unusual. Lots around empty shops and those shop fronts. Lots around keeping the town clean and tidy. Lots around needing more shops. Or what we're hearing from the younger end is they don't shop. They want to come in and get coffees or have a drink or do something rather than just shop. So quite interesting. But as a result, we've been able to put out the job advert for a public ground steward, and we've been able to put up some of those hanging baskets in response to Chestergate. And we're looking at putting in a couple of other funding bids for bits and pieces that will largely around the public realm, to just improve things like making all the banners, not the banners, the railings, painting them all black, not just one, just painting them all so it looks uniform, because it really sets the barrier plants off beautifully on Churchill Way. So just looking at chipping away at and getting all those things done. The plan is to put together an action plan from the findings of the consultation, and it is it's fabulous to use for funding bids because it's recent, it's real, it's our residents telling us, and we've already been able to help the Silk Museum put in funding bids because people are asking around heritage and stuff, so it's really useful in that respect as well to get further money in. So yes, we'll be doing more and hopefully have an action plan soon-ish around things that we may want to do or can do or work with others to do.
Well, thank you for the report. Obviously, I was going to mention the public realm steward as part of the findings. So if people are saying that Macclesfield Town Council don't listen to residents, I think we do. Councillor Bennett-Wake.
Yeah, I attended this meeting and there were so many positive ideas that come out. One of the things I did hear was 15-minute living, where you live, work and play within 15 minutes of your home, and you can get to the train station if you want to go out of town, which was a brilliant idea, I thought. And I think combined with the devolution with Cheshire East, Cheshire West, Warrington, that kind of information will really help with that, especially with tourism and connectivity, because we've got a lot of heritage here. There's a lot of heritage in Chester and other places in Cheshire as a whole, but that's really, even like the archives that will be in a new building in Crewe as well, that bringing all that together is that, and we're on the edge of the Peak District, Macclesfield is the place to be, and to live, work and play, and obviously, active walk and active travel and so on. It all ties together, so we just need to all join up together with Cheshire East and then the devolved authority, get the decisions made locally, and it's going to be better for everybody.
Thank you, Councillor Bennett-Wake. Any other questions or comments? No. Okay. Item 10, Council Identity and Communications.
Thank you, Chair. So, social media followers, we continue to increase our followers, which is just great, really, because you sort of think at some point we must have reached maximum capacity, but no, we haven't. When I wrote this report, which was about 2 weeks ago, over the last 28 days, we've had almost 190,000 views on our posts total. We've reached around 33,000 people, and we've had around just under 1,500 content interactions. So people commenting, liking, sharing. Some of the top content by reach, just to give you an idea of what we people are liking. A post about the weather being miserable, but brightening it by putting up the trifold with 1261 Mac Now and Mac Pride. Luckily, Rachel took a photo in the sunshine, which was great. So we had a sunshiny post on a miserable day. That had 16,000 views. Matt doing a pitch inspection for a very damp park fit at South Park. The new role, as the town park mentioned before, for our public realm steward, that's the word, that had 7,500 views. The winner, option B, for the park equipment, 6,500 views, 111 likes. And then the web experience students doing their little quiz for our volunteers, and a thank you to volunteers and town councillors during Volunteer Week. The new Mayor of Macclesfield Facebook page passed over to Councillor Emma Gilman in May, and she's currently got 817 followers, so we've been updating that today with the things that she's done this weekend. The next copy of the Mac update is being written as we speak. I was working on that today. It's going to be a chunky one, that's all I can say. There's so much to go in it. And we continue with all the other things that we do. So, as the events officer said, we've got a lot from over the summer booklet, which will be either sent out electronically to schools or as a paper version to primary age children. And it's got our events on one side, and it's got other things that are happening in the summer on the other side. As Town Park said, we emailed all the secondary education facilities, college, all the secondary schools, people like Just Drop In, things like that, with regard to town centre consultation and trying to get a younger majority to answer it. Comms have gone out to the local press about mayor making before and after events. We are in contact with AstraZeneca and the NHS. We send them information about our events, and as I've mentioned earlier, we've got a questionnaire that will be going out to Parkfit users about feedback. So we've got a lot of different avenues of reaching people, and they all seem to be working very well together.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Again, it shows social media is kind of key in what we're doing as a town council. Social media is kind of exploding, so to be able to reach that many people is absolutely fantastic. Again, thank you on behalf of the committee and the town council for all your hard work in the communications as well, if I may, Abby. Any other comments or questions? Councillor
Just
Dunley?
like to thank Abby for that personal touch as well of going to different groups and getting in touch with people after seeing the boards out and about in the wards as well as in the town centre. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments now? Okay, so that just leaves the last agenda item, item 11, the dates, time and place of the next meeting, which will be 13th of October 2025, 7 o'clock here at the Town Hall. Thank you very much for attending or viewing. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, as if you are able to sleep in this warm weather. Thank you.